I would never watch you again. This thing could just be a tendency, yada yada yada, I don't know.
This thing got insta yes from me. Hi and welcome to this video. In this video I'll talk about the new VIO QX13 dongle, VIO's premium dongle series. The QX13 is priced at $200 USD for the aluminum version and $220 USD for the carbon version. Before I begin, let me thank VIO for providing the QX13 for this review. Rest assured, as always, my review is 100% my own personal opinion and VIO has no input in this review at all. The QX series are not intended to replace the KA series, and VIO confirmed it. The QX series are going to be their premium dongle series. Okay, now let's start from the box itself. As always, VIO boxes, nothing to see. Like, there's legit no specs. So yeah, when you open the box, you are greeted with a thick quick start guide. The dongle was here and it is. Thank you, VIO, for putting this little. I always appreciate when a company tries to deliver their product at least physically good to their consumer. And then of course the forbidden snacks. And previously, this is the place where the letter case was put. And below this, previously there was a cable here, and then a warranty card, and you get, I believe this is meant to put, like, let's say this is your phone, this is the screen, and this is the back of your phone, and then you put it here. And then I also believe that the case, the letter or letterhead case, is magnetic, so you can just kinda snap it in here. It is a very nice touch and it is very convenient because the dongle itself, for the aluminum version, I believe it is 39 grams and the carbon version was like 33-ish grams. So yeah. And then you also got yourself a spare. This is like those plastic screen protector, and then of course to make your audio even more high-res, just put it everywhere. Yeah, high-res audio stickers. And you get yourself a 2 rubber, and then this is the device itself. Like, you can use this to, let's say you didn't need to use the extra power in, you can just plug this, something like this, and maybe it will not collecting dust or something. So yeah, I kinda appreciate it. It is like a small touch, but yeah, thanks VIO. Okay, actually let me test if the case was actually magnetic or not. It is. Yes, it is like a very nice quote-unquote solution by VIO. Because imagine this is like, well, a chunky big dongle that, yeah, I don't know what, yeah, you can just compare it like, I don't know, this is Apple Magic Mouse and the size of this dongle is like this, as for comparison. Yeah, so personally me, if VIO didn't include this, I will most likely use the dongle as just, let's say this is my phone, and then yeah, whenever I play music, I just kinda put it to the table or something, or on my lap, because it's too big. And then where's the cable? Here it is, the USB-C to C cable. Okay, before I begin my rant, or not exactly a rant, this is like still a review, but so what do you get inside the box? a quick recap. QX13, C2C cable, quick start guide, warranty document, and spare plastic screen protector, magnetic letter case, and then those two USB plugs. Okay, let me just remove this if I could, because I kinda appreciate how tight this is, because I personally had a bad experience with this type of case. I don't know if you watch my very long, the M21 video is like 47 minutes or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, I said that previously with this kind of case, when I still uses Shanling M5S. Yeah, I believe it is the M5S. The case is, I remember that, yeah, so basically when I kinda put the thing upside down, which is kinda a bad idea in the first place, but I don't know what I was doing at that time, the M5S just slides out and then, yes, boom, and then you got a dented M5S, which is kinda sad. Now let's talk about the build quality. Since I got the aluminum version, which is kinda weird, the box is like titanium gold, like maybe, well, at least like an input from me, just change it, change the name. This is not titanium because this is aluminum. Anyway, since I got the aluminum version, I can't really talk about the carbon build one, and the aluminum version is heavier and cheaper. It is cheaper by 20 USD and heavier by 6 grams. And I asked Vio representative that the difference between the two only the body material. Sound-wise and other spec-wise, they both share the exact same. So there you go. Do not make a random theory that the carbon version and aluminum version sounds different, blah blah. Yeah, don't make false info. And on the front of the QX13, the QX13 has a rather large screen with nice color that sadly I cannot plug this in. Well, I can, but I would be shocked by my Mac Mini, because the Mac Mini for some reason didn't have a grounding prong. So yes, anyway, my bad, because I cannot show you the screen. The QX13 has a rather large screen with nice color, and I believe this one uses LCD panel, not AMOLED one, and the screen displays a bar graph on the main interface, displaying real-time voltage and current with power Z or Z, meter level precision. The internal processor dynamically adjusts power delivery based on precise monitoring and user settings, seamlessly switching between high or low voltage modes. And below the screen you got 3 buttons: volume down, play, pause, and volume up. And the behavior of the buttons can be set using Vio Control app, but I guess Vio hasn't updated their icon yet. Let me put the screenshot here. It shows the KA17 picture instead of the new QX13. So yeah, Vio, add that to your list. On the left side, there's that desktop mode toggle. So the desktop mode is just like if you put more power to this port on the right side. By the way, if we activate the desktop mode, in normal mode 2 op-amps work in 4-channel balanced drive configuration, and in desktop mode 2 additional op-amps are paralleled for doubled output power. On the back you kinda have a carbon pattern style, but you can't see it anyway if we use like the case, which is I recommend because it's very convenient. Like, look at this. Yeah. As for the specs, and I will quote this again from Vio, the QX13 is the first dongle to feature ESS Saber Pro. The ES9027 Pro belongs to the same series as the ES9039M Pro, both at the Saber Pro level and both has 8-channel DACs. It adopts ESS Ultra Low Noise Dual Channel LDO paired with the ES9312 with 4-channel parallel amplification and independent power supply for each channel. This maximizes the chip's performance. Compared to most CS43131 and CS43198 solutions on the market, it offers clear differentiation and superior sound detail. Okay, we got something here. VIO actually aware that every single releases, like the I don't know, if you watch my previous video, I believe I was whining about every single releases always uses CS43131 or CS43198 and they kinda sounds all the same. It's just another dongle with another CS, and yes, that's it. Yeah, VIO actually noticed it and they kinda market this as offering clear differentiation and superior sound detail, which I can personally testify to their claim. Also, according to VIO, the entire signal path uses 6 TI audio OPMs in a 2+2+2 configuration, 2 low power OPMs for IV and LPF circuit, and 4 high drive capability INA 1620 OPMs in a 2+2 designs. Example, 2 units for amplifier plus 2 units for parallel combination. And does that really matters? Well, for me personally, I don't care that much, but all I wanted is that to know that the dongle or the products that we are buying uses a good components and they utilize it to their maximum potential. And yeah, that's all I care. For the output power, I will just put the screenshot here because it's like 6 different numbers. As for the features, the QX13 offers more efficient at the same time, more powerful compared to the previous KA17 releases, and again, the first portable dongle that uses Saber Pro level chip, and of course the desktop mode, and the last one is VIO Control app compatible. Okay, for the sound wise, I will describe the QX13 with all of the factory settings. Tonality in general, it is musical, slightly warm but extended highs with extreme details regardless of the price. For the bass, it is the first thing I noticed. It is super tight, and I think it has a slight accent on the bass. Like the impression I get whenever I plug my cans to the QX13, it sounds so fun to listen, and like this thing is trying to impress us with its bass presentation or something. And the QX13, this thing, well, it is a big dongle, but for a desktop device, this is a small, very compact desktop device. And yes, you can use it with your desktop because there is desktop mode. And this thing can handle the HD650, Sendara, and other power-hungry cans like the DT990, like a champ. I don't know about Altbayer 600 ohm though, but yes, most likely you can power everything just by using this with desktop mode, and the bass control is just, yeah, it's so good. It's so good. For the mid-range, it is musical. The mid-range, if I were to describe it, it sounds, well, this is a weird analogy, but it feels slimy in a good way. Well, maybe the word I'm trying to say is like effortless. It just presents a very nice, charming vocal, and since I am a vocal lover, yeah, this thing is just so good. And instrumental such as violin also sounds charming, and this is the differentiation. Usually, dongle or other DAC or amps like or combo dongle DAC amps or you know whatever, those DAC amps combo usually presents violin in an intense manner, but the QX13, the thing I noticed is that this thing does not sound intense but still maintaining that charming tonality. So like this thing is just sounds so effortless, which is very easy to listen to. And then for the treble, it is smooth, super extended, non-offensive with hyper detail level, especially if we insert the price into consideration, which is 200 or 220. For the technicalities, I can say this thing is spectacular for 200 USD, like Vio's newest releases like the M21, and then now this dongle just absolutely destroys the market, which is good. It forces the market and other brands to get good. Basically, Vio, they're raising the bar quite high for other brands to compete, and we benefit as the consumers. For the stage, it has a precise stage layering and quite wide. In fact, if you know the HD 600 series, like 600, 6XX and 650 series, it is ironically, for an open back headphones, it has a rather claustrophobic soundstage and only presents us those infamous 3 blobs of sound, left, center, and right. With this thing, well, it still presents those 3 blobs, but with more distance. Let's say this is, yes, this is the center, this is your left, this is your right. Let's say I plug the HD 650 to my audio interface, or like to my other previous releases dongle like the Cayin RU7. It would be like this, but with the QX13, the positioning would be like this, which is for a very claustrophobic open back headphones. This is a very nice thing to have. Because yeah, I love HD 650, but the soundstage is just no, not for me. But the tonality of those HD 650 is just so good. Anyway, back to the review. Imaging, very good. I tested the QX13 with the Kiwi Ears Aventus just for fun. The Aventus becomes holographic. Which is like, what? Hold up. Let me try putting the Aventus in their Bluetooth mode. Yeah, it's just 2.5D sounding. Okay, let me try. Put the Aventus to my audio interface. Yeah, it's still 2.5D sounding. And then I plug it to the QX13. It just, oh, wow. Yeah, this thing is just, it's that good. Separation and positioning, very good. Thanks to the very good stage layering, and the separation and positioning is just top notch, regardless of the price. And if we include the price, this thing is crazy. It's like no brainer. Also, the detail retrieval, very good. This is like, as I said, a detail monster regardless of the price. And then if we again insert the price into consideration, this thing is just Insta X from me for micro detail junkies. So yeah, if you are one of those that prioritize detail retrieval, this thing is clearly meant for you. As for comparison, I will compare it with the Cayin RU7. The RU7 is more expensive, more inefficient, less powerful, but it has more thick sounding presentation. The QX13 offers more or less the same level of timbre to the RU7, but this thing completely obliterates the RU7 in terms of, well, everything. Yeah, sure, the sound timbre or timbre is kinda different in a way. It's just like choosing your MSG brand, but if I had to only choose one between those two, QX13 all day. And why did I pick the QX13 easily instead of RU7? First of all, this thing has normal working temperature. because RU7 on the other hand is just hot to the touch and uncomfy to be pocketed with. And then this thing more efficient for portable use and the battery consumption is less than the KA17, and the KA17 is already quite an efficient dongle, and this thing is more efficient than that and it is more powerful than that. So yeah, it's just so easy for me to recommend this. And then if we look on other perspective like other POV, a lot of audio interfaces, like even a premium grade one, like I won't name the brands, but yes, they got less power than this small, quote unquote, small dongle for desktop use. Like they need to get good. Like legit, those big DAC amps combo need to get good with at least their power, because this thing is kinda powerful enough to power everything, unless you're using like those old Beyerdynamic 600 ohms, HD 650 and Sundara. I can make those two using the single-ended port. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention it has single-ended port and a balance 4.4. Only using the single-ended port, I can make the HD 650 and Sundara to a very ear-damaging level of loudness. All those big desktop DAC amps really need to get good, because this thing can easily replace those. So, the conclusion, insta yes. And this thing and the M21 is like the easiest recommendation for source in on at 2025. I don't know grammar, so yes, this thing, Vio is on a good path with the M21 and the QX13 releases. They raised the bar so high, which is very nice. As I said earlier, we as the consumers, aka audiophiles, benefited from this. It really forces other companies to get good and offer more value for their products. And like this thing is just raising that bar, like from, let's say, from here to here. It's just, yeah, it's so good. Vio is on a good path. Okay, that's all from me for now, and thanks for reaching this far. If you watched the full video, thank you. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like button. Want more video like this? Subscribe and please share this video with your friends. Also, I open audio mixing and mastering and loopable BGM commissions. Feel free to email me just in case you're interested and want to support me directly. Okay, till next time. Bye for now.